Good afternoon. Today is Friday, March 16, 2018. I'm Joe Paul. There's a few things I want to talk about. First of all, we're going to talk about the Function 1 schedulers in both of the big plants. They're still ongoing. All of them are actually in their third closed section bidding. Now in the Orlando PNDC, we have a couple residuals that are going to be offered to some of the people from 2 or 3. They haven't yet, but they're sitting there. I'm not sure if we want to wait till Paul Widows gets back or have the other manager look at it. Not that she's incompetent, but I'm just kind of a little weary about having somebody else look at it when I've already basically trained Paul on how to do that. Now the Orlando Seminole PNDC, there's only a couple people with retreat rights back. They've already brought them back. So, you know, after this next closed section bidding, we might wind up finishing that one out. Now I have a lot of grievances going on in both of the plants. So we're looking at those, trying to get more jobs converted. And so or created rather, and we'll just see how that goes. We're conducting another stewards class. This will be the 5th one coming up probably a couple weeks. Right now we've been kind of slam busy. We have 8 people scheduled, and if you have more people, if more people are interested, you need to let me know at jpaulapw@gmail.com. Especially in the plants. We have 8 of them, maybe 6 or 7 of them are outside of the plant. So we're looking forward to that. If you request a steward still and you don't get one, request a second time. And if you don't get one then, you need to let us know, because we're not about you requesting a steward and not getting to see one. That's a problem for us. If you ever feel threatened, like I mentioned last time, ever feel threatened, no matter who it's from, you request a threat assessment. Nobody should come to work and be nervous or threatened by a manager or anything like that. You need to report it. If they don't want to do it, management, you let us know, you let your steward know. You will file a threat assessment if you're threatened. PSE and PTF conversions, they're a little slow because the accessing is still going on. I've seen a lot of PTF jobs, I'm told anyway, from some of the PSEs that are being offered to PSEs. So you need to look hard at that, because a PTF, people think, well, that's a career job. But you're only guaranteed 4 hours of pay period as a career PTF. So you need to look at your situation, look at your surroundings, look at your plants, or your AOs, where you're in, associate offices, that is, and see what you think. Do you think that the chances of you getting converted later will be okay? Or do you think you want to give up the job where you're working 40 hours a week as a PSE? Not to say it's guaranteed, but we have a lot of PSEs and we're looking for conversions soon. They've still been working a lot of hours. Or do you want to go to an office where you just don't know? So that's something that you have to make your own decision of. If for me, I go to the office, ask some questions, and find out what it's looking like out there. We're still awaiting the LMOU arbitration award that we talked about last week out in the level 22 and below offices, where they said incidental leave will be at management's discretion. We're hoping for a positive result. We hope. But what I want in the interim, everybody in level 22 and below office, when you request annual leave, incidental annual leave, and they deny it, get it in writing. Get it on a 3971 denied and get that back to us. That way we'll have a copy, because we'll have that. We'll be able to use that the next time around. Because if they turn down our arbitration on that, if we lose that, we're going to go at it again. We're not going to give up on that, because incidental leave at management's discretion is not in our employees or our members' best interest. The staffing packages, we're still challenging them at the Orlando PNDC. So we have some questions with that. The Line H grievances are coming along slowly because they're dragging our feet on information, but we're actually getting it and we're sending those up. We're appealing it because I don't think management is going to want to agree on paying out all kinds of money. But we'll pursue it. We're not going to give up on any of that. The VMF, usually quiet. We're having some problems with some questions about the ERT time, which is the estimated repair time. I'm not as fluent in that area really, but if you read your Florida Postal Worker magazine, which everybody should have received in the last few days, there's an article by our MVS director, Greg Dixon, and he explains a lot of those things thoroughly. So if you have a question, you're in VMF, you have a question about the ERT time, there shouldn't be discipline involved. That's part of it. I read the article. Just kind of double check it. If you have more questions about it, write to me, let me know, and I'll get you some answers. I was successful, well, we were actually successful in having 9 resolves come back in MVS. But we had some problems with 2 of them. So I re-challenged those because they should have retroactively paid these people, but they did not. So I wound up getting them to redo it, and they changed the wording, and they're going to pay them retroactively. So once we get that, we'll let you know. But it's already at labor, and our MBA from MVS, they're looking into that, making sure our people are made whole and paid for everything that they lost, which incidentally at least 4 or 5 holidays. The in-service register, this is something I talked about in the Seminole PNDC for the custodians. They haven't started in the Orlando PNDC as of yet, but we're working on that. Anyway, they posted this up. It's all over the plant in Seminole for any clerks or actually mail handlers, anybody that wants to go into the custodial craft. But they're going to take APW represented employees first. I'm told as of today, 2 o'clock, no clerks have even applied for it. It's something you need to look at because it's going to run out, I'm told, on the 18th at midnight, but it could be tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. Nobody's answering me. But anyway, a couple things you need to know. You will drop down to a level 4, which is normally, if you're level 6, that's 2 pay grades lower, and you start a new period of seniority. Every time you go into a new craft, you start a new period of seniority. The upside is there's some day jobs, I'm told, and there's also a chance for upward mobility to go to a maintenance mechanic and an MPE all the way up to ET if that's what you want to do. But there is upward mobility in that craft. But you need to apply if that's what you're looking to do. You need to do it right away. And all the information is posted. I also have a letter posted up there letting you know all the ups and downs about everything. So I'm trying to give you as much information as I can. Labor management agendas. We've had maybe 8 or 10 labor management meetings in the last several months. Most of them been out there in the associate offices like Oviedo and Apopka, I believe Winter Park, Lakeland. We've had a few of them, but now we're getting ready to go to the big plants, customer service in the Orlando PNDC and the plant in the Orlando PNDC, as well as Seminole PNDC. We need agenda items. I've asked for the last in the last maybe month or two, I've been sending things out asking for those. So if you have some labor management agenda items, things you're not sure of, they may not be contractual, but if you're not sure of, or you'd like to see something, or things historically are going wrong, let us know. I need to know. I don't see everything every day. So if you see things that we're not aware of, you need to let me know so I can be on top of that for you. As far as the Lakeland, we had the 2 residual vacancies that were still out there on a 21-day e-resign. As of right now, we don't have an answer on them. Another thing I wanted to talk about. You know, you heard all this stuff about they took the schemes off of jobs, which they did. They took schemes off a lot of jobs. But there is nothing saying that they can't have a scheme on a job. The M5 handbook says if you work 30 hours or you demonstrate 30 hours in a counting period, which is a month, working the scheme, which could be letters, flats, parcels, all that's part of the scheme, we can actually try to get a scheme put on the job. And I had a call earlier today, and I've heard some recently. Now, not many places have schemes on the jobs, but there's nothing saying that they have to stop them. That language has never changed. Postal Service is trying to get away with paying people to learn a scheme. That's really the ultimate goal here. But really, they're putting a lot of stress. Just like they're saying, well, you have the pass machine where you put the thing under the scanner and it beep, makes a noise and tells you the route. Well, as anybody that works out there in customer service, you know that you get a lot of those small things from Canada and China and things like that they don't read. So you got to put them in a tub, which is full. Then you have to take them and try to know the scheme to do it. If you don't know the scheme, you're just looking at a big matrix board like a cheat sheet. It's going to take you forever to throw it. And that's very stressful at your job. So I'm in the process of sending something to your postmaster in Orlando right now, Diane Tyndall, and I'll send her a letter, which I'll probably send out later today to everybody and see how we're going to challenge that. We believe right now there's 2 or 3 jobs that are getting ready to get posted on the new posting cycle, which they missed the last one, but the new posting cycle, and maybe we can see about getting schemes put on them. I know this is a lengthy talk today. Anyway, I just want to thank you for being union members. Thank you for being proud members of the Central Florida Area Local. And that's all I have for today. Have a great day. Bye.